Hello everyone, welcome to Atubu Concepts. This channel is strictly all about fashion and creativity. On this channel, I do tutorial in menswear, women's wear, children's wear, creating things from things I don't really have need for. So as a man, woman, boy, girl, you are interested in learning fashion from A to Z. You really want to know everything about fashion. I strictly recommend this channel for you. And if you already have knowledge about fashion and you want to learn more, I also recommend this channel for you. Please subscribe, and when you are subscribing, don't forget to click that notification bell. That bell is very important for notifications. When you click the subscription button, immediately click the notification bell with it. 3 options will come out. Click the first one, which is ALL. When you do that, then you are good to go. Why am I emphasizing on that bell? Because I don't want you to miss out in any of my teachings. There are loads of teachings that are going to be coming on this channel. I want you to be part of it. Please click that bell when you click the subscription button. This channel is quite different from my regular channel that I talk about marriages, relationship, food, health. That one is under the name Atubu Aimi, while this one is under the name Atubu Concepts. It's strictly about fashion. I don't want to get my subscribers on that one confused. If you are interested in fashion and you've already one of my subscribers on that one, please subscribe on this as well. In today's video, I am going to show you most of the tools that you need and some of the information that you need to have before you start learning how to cut, sew, and all that you want to know about fashion. Yes, it's very important that you get some of these tools and some of these informations on ground before you start learning. So I encourage you to please watch this video from beginning to the end. Please don't skip. When you skip, you miss some of the tools that you need. And you will also miss some vital informations that will help ease and speed your learning. Number 1, you need a measuring tape. There's no creating of any garment in fashion world without a measuring tape. You need a measuring tape to be able to take down all the measurements that you're going to be taking along the line. Mind you, there are different types of measuring tapes out there. Different colors, different length, different width. They are all the same thing. They all carry the same numbers. Because I don't want you to get yourself worried about what kind of tape you need to buy. Please just get one and get yourself ready for the fashion world. Number 2, you also need rulers to measure your fabrics and your pattern papers. Along the line, you are going to need them. Number 3, you also need 2 pairs of scissors. One for your fabrics, one for cutting of pattern papers. I will not advise you to use the scissors that you are using to cut your fabric on your papers. Because when you do that, it's going to blunt the mouth of your scissors. And you will not like to work with scissors that is not sharp. I've experienced it. It's not a good thing to experience. So I encourage you to have 2 pairs of scissors. One for your fabric, like I said before, and one for your pattern papers, to be on the safe side. Number 4, you also need some office pins. These office pins are also necessary when creating garments. You use them to put fabrics together. It will stop them from shifting apart. So they're also very necessary. Number 5, you need some marking chalks. Marking chalks comes in different sizes, different colors, different length. It doesn't matter, they are all the same thing. You can also get some pencils that are markers. You can get either one. They will do the same job. Marking chalks are very necessary because when you measure your fabrics, you need them to mark out the lines that you have measured so that you know exactly the lines that you are supposed to cut on. So they are very necessary to have. Number 6, you need some writing pads. Doesn't matter what kind of writing pads you get, provided you can write on it. And also along with a pen that you can write with. Because you need writing pad to be able to take all the measurements that you're going to be taking along the line, to put them down so that you don't forget them. Yes, they are very necessary as well. Number 8, you need a sewing needle. Sewing needle is very important. When you want to tack your buttons, you use sewing needles. There are some areas that you cannot use machine on. You also need sewing needles. And again, if you don't have machine yet and you can't afford one now, you can use your sewing needle to join your fabrics together. When I started learning how to sew, I started with needle and thread. And I made beautiful dresses with needle and thread. Anytime I put them on at that time, people comment on what I use needle and thread to put together. Not having a machine will not stop you from learning. Yes. So along the line, I'm going to show you how you can use needle and thread to put fabric together. The only thing that using needle takes time when you are trying to put them together, but it will definitely do the job beautifully. The only thing is, if you are buying a sewing needle, I will advise you to buy a smaller size. Smaller size will give you beautiful stitches. Number 9, you also need sewing thread. The needle cannot run itself without a thread. If you don't have machine yet, you can buy sewing thread to use with your needle to bring your fabric together. But if you already have machine, you also need some sewing thread to run your machine. Machine cannot run on its own without sewing thread. So sewing thread is very important to have. Depends on the fabric that you are going to sew. You buy the same color that will match your fabric. Off you go. Number 10, you need a pressing iron. There are different types of pressing iron out there. Some come with water space. Some come in different colors, different sizes. It doesn't matter. Provided you get yourself a pressing iron, because you need it when you start to create your garment, and you also need it when you finish creating your garment. It's very important because maybe you want to put some gum stay on some of your garment. You need a pressing iron to. So there are many areas where you need pressing iron when creating a garment. So it's very important you have one. Number 11, you also need seam ripper. Seam ripper comes in different sizes, big or small. It doesn't matter, just get yourself one, provided it's doing the job that it's meant to do. Seam ripper is used to get rid of unwanted stitches out of your garment. Seam ripper is very safe when using it to remove those unwanted stitches out of your fabric. On no account should you use a razor blade to get rid of unwanted stitches on your garment, because when you do that, you can cut your fabric by mistake, and that will affect your sewing. Whether as a beginner or as an expert, I will not advise you to use a razor blade to get rid of any unwanted stitches from your garment. You got that? Number 12, you need a pencil, eraser, and a sharpener to sharpen your pencil. You need a pencil for sketches, and you also need a pencil to draft patterns. You need a pencil as a beginner in case you make mistake along the line. You'll be able to erase it with your eraser and continue. When you finally get it right, you can now mark them out with a marker. So get these 3 things. They are essential along the line. Number 12, you also need some pattern paper. As you can see, this is the light one and this is the thicker one. They all come in different sizes, different colors, different thickness. As a beginner, I will encourage you to invest more on the lighter one to draft whatever you want to draft. Once you get it right, you cannot transfer it to the hard copy. Let your pattern paper receive all the mistakes you're going to make when drafting a pattern. When you finally get it right, transfer it to the hard one. Hard one is for keeps. It's not to be thrown away. Yes. And again, if you don't have any of this pattern paper. Any kind of paper will do the job. This is a paper bag that you can get when you go for shopping. Yes, you can use this as a pattern paper. You can see the under. You can lose this out, straighten it flat, and fold it. Keep them. Whenever you want to draft a pattern, you can bring them out for use. So I'm telling you now, don't throw your paper bags away anymore. Do not have use for them to start creating patterns. I sometimes use this when I run out of pattern papers. This is calico. So it's a piece of fabric that you normally use whenever you want to cut out pattern. Instead of using your real fabric to start cutting out pattern, use a calico to cut out those patterns. Sew it together, wear it, and see if they fit perfectly. If not, recut it with your calico. All the mistakes that you're going to make along the line, let your calico be the fabric to receive all those mistakes. When you finally get it right, then you cannot lose it out and use that one to cut your real fabric. Like that, you are not using your fabric for trial and error. You are not wasting fabric. Another thing that is good on this channel, we don't waste fabric, we save fabric here. So calico is very important. And if you don't have calico, you can work with your old fabric, old clothes. You can work with your old cloth that you no longer have use for. Lose them out, keep them. Whenever you want to create a garment, use that old cloth of yours to create that garment. And try it on. When it fit properly, lose it out and use that one to cut out your real fabric. Whether you have calico, you don't have calico, if old piece of clothes you have, it will definitely do the same job that calico can do. So as a beginner, I will advise you to always try out whatever garment you are going to create with old cloth or calico before you cut out your real fabric. I don't want you to waste any fabric, because some fabric might be very expensive. You don't want to use them for trial and error. I'm bringing you back to this measuring tape again because there are some few things I want you to know about measuring tape. All measuring tape, like I said before, they are the same everywhere. Some countries use inches, which is these white numbers that you are seeing, while some countries use centimeters, the smaller numbers you are seeing at the back. Some countries use both inches and centimeters, but for me, I use inches. Sometimes I use centimeters. My teachings are mostly done with inches. From this point to this place is 1 inch. When you go past that, it will be 1.5. It's no longer 1 inch. It will become 1.5 inches. When you go to this point, that will be 2 inches. This point, that will be 3 inches. On and on and on like that. It becomes inches. 9 inches on any measuring tape is 1/4 of a yard. 18 inches on any measuring tape is half a yard. 36 inches from 1 to 36 is a yard. Why from 1 to 39 inches is a meter. A meter is slightly bigger than a yard with difference of 3 inches. If you want to measure your fabrics in yards, let me use this to show you an example. You want to measure like this fabric in a roll. All you need to do, you put your tape at the starting point like this. Then you bring your tape down to 36. Bring your tape to that spot that 36 is. Then you draw the tape down again. 2 yards. On and on like that before you measure the whole yards in the row. That's how you measure your fabrics. These are some of the things I want you to know on measuring tapes. Before I end this video, I just want to show you one more thing that you need to have. That is sewing machine. I have many machines here, both the industrial ones and the domestic ones. Yes, I sometimes sew with the domestic one when I'm doing something not heavy. Most of the time, I work with the industrial ones. But for you as a beginner, I will encourage you to buy a straight domestic machine. Along the line, you are going to need it. But if you are not buoyant enough, you can still work with needle and thread, like I said before, to bring your garments together. As time goes on, I'm going to show you how you can use needle and thread to get a good result. But try and save towards having a domestic straight machine. There are so many different types out there. That the plastic ones are out there. You can even buy from a second-hand shop, provided it can do a straight line. That's all you really need. Doesn't matter what type, what color, what size, it doesn't matter. Just get some sewing machine that will give you a straight, clean line. Why I'm asking you to buy a straight machine if you don't have one? Because what you can do in 10 minutes with needle and thread, with sewing machine, you can do that just in 2 minutes. It's faster. Like this is the overlocking domestic machine. You can buy this as well. But if you are not buoyant enough, don't bother yourself. It's not necessary now. This will only make your job to be very neat. But for now, if you cannot afford that, don't bother yourself at all. Yes, I'm only just showing it to you for beginners. This is the industrial one, while this is the domestic one. If you are not buoyant enough, that will not stop you from learning at all. Yes, you can carefully save towards having one. There are still some tools that are not included in what I just shown to you. Then with time, you start to see them one by one. If you don't have all these tools that I've just mentioned in this video, don't bother yourself. Just grab as many as you can and start with that. With time, you start to see the importance of every tool. Yes, don't let that stop you from learning. That will not stop you from going to the next step. This that will ease and speed your learning. That is why I'm showing all these tools to you to have. I think that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, please give me thumbs up. And don't forget to leave your comments. If you have any question at all that you want to ask me, please go ahead and leave it on the comment section below. I'll be more than glad to answer all your questions. If you've not subscribed, please try and do so. Click that subscription button. Immediately also click along with it the notification bell. When you click that notification bell, 3 options will come out. Click the first one, which is ALL, and you are good to go. Like I said before, I don't want you to miss out in any of my teachings. The next tutorial is going to be on how body measurements are taken. This is my dress form. As you can see, all the measurements are already been taken and lined out with this blue tape. And in my next video, I'm going to show you how I got all these measurements. As a beginner, you need to know how to take body measurements. It's very, very crucial. There's no creating of any garment without measurements. It's another important topic. So don't miss out on it without subscribing. Thank you very much for your time. See you in my next video. God bless you.